Hello everyone. Today we'll continue study the muscle of limbs. In last class, we studied the muscle of neck, trunk, and head. And today we'll continue to study the muscle of limbs. The first we'll study the muscle of upper limb, and then we'll study the muscle of lower limb. The muscle of upper limb includes the muscle of shoulder, the muscle of arm, the muscle of forearm, and the muscle of hand. First, let's see the muscle of shoulder. And first, let's see the name of them. First one, deltoid. Second one, supraspinatus. Third one, infraspinatus. Teres major, teres minor, and subscapular muscle. Now let's see my software. Let's see them. You see here? This is our right shoulder joint. On the superior and lateral side of the shoulder joint, there is a big muscle. This one is deltoid. Deltoid. And this muscle has three heads. You see this one is the middle head. And this one is anterior head. And this one is posterior head. The three heights from clavicle and span of the scapular then go downwards. Finally, will end on humerus. This one is deltoid. First, let's see the location and name, and then I'll explain about the origin and insertion and function of them. First one. Now let's see the back of the shoulder. Here is the span of scapular, and there is the fossa superior to the span of scapular. This fossa is supraspinatus fossa. And in this fossa, there is a muscle. This one is supraspinatus. Supraspinatus. And under the span, there is the infraspinatus fossa. Another muscle covered on it is infraspinatus. Infraspinatus. Okay, now I'll hide the deltoid. Hide it. You can see infraspinatus. Now let's see, under the infraspinatus, there is another muscle. This one is teres minor. Teres minor. And under the teres minor, there is a bigger one. Teres major. Teres major. And all of the three muscles, they are from the back of the scapular, then go laterally and on humerus. Okay. Now let's see the front of the scapular. Now I highlight this muscle. You see here, in front of the scapular, there is a very big but shallow fossa. This one is subscapular fossa. And there is another muscle covered on this small fossa. This one is subscapularis. Subscapularis. Okay, this is the muscle around the shoulder. Now let's study this muscle one by one. First, let's study the deltoid. You see there is a right 5 star. So when you see the star, means this muscle is important. You must master it. And if the muscle is important, you should master first one is origin. Where is it from? Second, insertion. Where did it end? And third one is action of it. Now let's see the deltoid. The first one, the origination. This muscle is from span of scapular. You see this one is the back of the trunk, the span of scapular. And then is acromion. Acromion is there is the span, you know, the lateral side of the span, there is acromion. And then is the lateral side of the clavicle. Okay, here is the front of the trunk. Here is the lateral side of the clavicle. This is the origin. Now let's see the software again. Where Now first come back and continue to see the upper shoulder. Okay, you see the right shoulder. Here deltoid, the three heads. From here, clavicle is the lateral side of clavicle. And here is the span of scapular. And the lateral end of the span is acromion. So this muscle is from the lateral side of clavicle, acromion, and span of scapular. It's a region. Then all the muscular fiber go downwards. Finally, end on the lateral side of humerus. Now I hide it. You see here. Here is the end of it. You see, there is a small area. It's rough, not smooth. And this rough area is deltoid tuberosity. Deltoid tuberosity is the insertion of this muscle. Okay, now let's come back. The insertion is deltoid tuberosity of humerus. So this muscle from clavicle and span then go downward and on the lateral side of the humerus. So the function, when this muscle contracts upwards, will make your upper limb, make your humerus move laterally. So this function is abduction of the shoulder. Make the shoulder abduction or move laterally. So it's the most power adductor muscle of your arm. At the same time, the anterior muscle, anterior group, can make your humerus move forward. This one is flexion. And posterior group make your arm move backwards. This function is extension. Now let's see the software again. Okay. Is it here? Anterior group, when this muscle contracts, will move your humerus move forwards, flexion. Posterior group contracts, move your humerus go backwards, extension. And all of the three muscles contract together will make your humerus move laterally. This one is abduction. Okay, it's about deltoid. Now, all the other muscles of the shoulder, you only to master the name and the location. Don't need to master the region and the insertion and the function. The first one, supraspinatus in the supraspinator fossa, supraspinous fossa. Under the spine is infraspinatus. And under the term is teres minor. And under it here should be teres major. All of the muscle is from the back of the scapular, then go laterally or transversely to the lateral side and on the humerus. So the function is can make your humerus move medially. Adduction. Yeah? Okay. Now let's see. Supraspinatus, infraspinatus, teres minor, and teres major. Make your shoulder adduction. Move medially. Okay. And under the muscle you can see there are some blood vessels and nerves. And this one is in front of the scapular. You can see in the subscapular fossa there is subscapular muscle. Subscapularis. Okay, it's a very big muscle from the medial side of the scapular, then go laterally and on the head of humerus. And it has the same function with the back muscle. Make your shoulder adduction. Okay. Now we'll study the muscle of the arm. In front of the arm and on the back of the arm, there are different group muscles. First, let's see the anterior group is in the right arm. Anterior group. The anterior group has superficial layer and deep layer. There are two layers. First, the superficial layer, there are one muscle. The muscle's name is biceps brachii. Bicep brachii is very important muscle. Please touch your arm. First one is anatomic position. You know, your palm face forward, and you touch the anterior group. And when you flex your elbow joint and seize your gift, you can feel this muscle. It's very strong muscle, bicep brachii. Okay. And under the 8, there is a deep layer. There are two muscles, coracobrachialis and brachialis. Now let's see them one by one. First, let's see the bicep brachii is superficial layer. You see here, bicep brachii. Now let's see the software again. Okay, upper arm. Okay, here, the right arm in front of humerus is anterior group. This one. You see this muscle has two height. So the name is biceps. The bi means two. Ceps, C-E-P. Cep means head. You know the head. And this muscle has two height. One is long height because there is a long tendon. Another one is short head. It's short tendon. Okay. And this one is bicep brachii. Now I'll feed head 8. Okay, you can under 8 there is two muscle. And this one is coracobrachialis. Yes, coracobrachialis. This muscle is from coracal process of the scapular. Are you here? Here is coracal process of scapular, and then go downwards. This muscle will end in the middle of the humerus. In the middle of the humerus, in front of the humerus, coracobrachialis. Another muscle is here, from the middle of the humerus, then go downwards. Finally, will end here on ulnar, the superior part of ulnar. And this muscle is brachialis. Okay, now let's bike. You see, the superficial layer is bicep brachii, lateral long height, short height, and under it, coracobrachialis and brachialis. Okay. The first slide master is the bicep brachii. It is a very important muscle. You see here, there is a star. First is the region. Bicep brachii has two heights, long height and short height. The long height is from supraglenoid tuberosity. Can you remember this structure? This structure belongs to the scapular. On the lateral side is glenoid fossa, or glenoid. And on the superior part is supraglenoid tuberosity from here. Okay? And another height is short height, is from here. Cricoid process. So this one is cricoid process from here. Short height. Okay. And the long height will walk in the shoulder capsule. In 8. And go downwards along the intertubercle sucker. Intertubercle suckers go downwards. Okay. And then the two heights will combine to one muscle. Finally, will end on the radial tuberosity. The radial tuberosity. Here, the radial tuberosity. Okay, now let's see the action or function of it. The lower portion, from humerus to radius, when this muscle contract, will make your elbow flexion. Yeah, flex the elbow. And on the superior part, because it's from scapular and on humerus, and the superior part contract will make your humerus move forwards. And this function is flexion of your shoulder. So the function is flex your elbow and shoulder. Okay, it's about the bicep brachii. Now let's see the software again. Okay, come back here. You see, it's one the long height. Where is from? Okay, now I'll hide the humerus. Hide capsule. Is here. Here is glenoid. Glenoid. Here is supraglenoid tubercle. The long height is from here. Then go downward along the humerus and in the shoulder capsule. And this one is short height because it's shorter than the long height. It's from the crinoid precise. Cricoid precise. Okay? And then the two heights will form one muscle. Finally, we'll end it on the radial tuberosity. Radial tuberosity. Okay. So the lower portion can make elbow flexion, and the upper portion can make your shoulder flexion. Okay? Okay. It's bicep brachii. Now let's see the back of the humerus. On the back of the humerus, there is another important muscle. Oh, I lost a star. Here is a star. Triceps brachii, the very important muscle. Here is a star. Triceps brachii. The first, let's see the name, triceps. TRI means 3. Ceps is the head. So this muscle has 3 heads. 3 heads. Long height, medial height, and lateral height. First, let's see the long height here. The long height from infraglenoid tuberosity. Just now we studied the long height of bicep brachii is from supraglenoid tuberosity. Okay, then we'll downwards. Okay, and this one is from the infraglenoid tuberosity. Then go downwards. Okay, now let's see the medial height. Here is the medial height. The medial height is from the medial and inferior to a circle. I'll change another color. Okay, change this color. Okay. There is a circle along the back of the humerus from medial to lateral, from superior to inferior. This circle is sucker for radial nerve. Sucker for radial nerve. And the radial nerve will walk in it. And the medial height is medial and inferior to the sucker. And another one, I've changed the color. Right. Here is the lateral height. Here's the lateral height. Okay. Here should be the lateral height. The lateral height is on the lateral and superior to the circle. And finally, you see the 3 height, lateral, middle, and inferior. They will combine and will form a triceps brachii. Then we'll go downwards. Finally, the insertion is olecranon of ulnar. Okay. It's a region. There are 3 regions. 1, 2, 3. And only one insertion. Now let's study about the function of it. Okay. The superior part is on the back of the shoulder joint. So the function is to make the shoulder extension, move backwards, extends the shoulder. At the same time, he can make your shoulder adduction because it's from the scapular and on the humerus and ulnar, so make the humerus and ulnar move medially is adduction. Okay, and there is the most important function is extends the forearm or extends the elbow joint. Make the elbow joint extension. because it's from humerus. The end on the ulna, on the back of the ulna. When this muscle contracts, make the ulna move backwards, aid the extension of the elbow joint. Okay? And then is about the muscle of forearm. All the muscle of the forearm is only to master the common function of the common function. This one, their common action. First, the muscle of the forearm includes anterior group and posterior group. In front of the forearm and on the back of the forearm, there are two different groups muscle. First, let's see the anterior group. Now let's see the software again. Back to the lower arm or the forearm. Okay, smaller. Okay, this is front. You see, this is our right arm, right forearm here, and in front of it there are many muscles. Is anterior group. Now I will rotate it to see the back. You see, on the back there are many muscles. This one is posterior group. Okay, now let's see what are they. First, let's see the name of them. First, anterior group includes the superficial layer and deep layer. The superficial layer there are 6 muscles. The deep layer there are 3 muscles. Now the total number is 9. First, let's see the name of them. Brachial radialis, pronator teres, flexor carpi radialis, palmaris longus, flexor carpi ulnaris, flexor digitorum superficialis, and the deep layer is flexor pollicis longus, flexor digitorum profundus, pronator quadratus. Okay, it's all the name of them. And the common function of them is flex elbow, flex wrist, flex finger, and pronation. Because all of the muscle is in front of your forearm. So the upper portion can flex elbow, lower portion can flex wrist and finger, and at the same time there are pronator teres and pronator quadratus. They make your forearm pronation. Pronation means rotation medially. Now let's see the location of them. First one, the superficial layer. The first one, brachial radialis. Brachial radialis on the lateral side is the right forearm. Here is the thumb. Here is from the lateral side of your humerus, then go downward to the lateral side of radius. Brachial radialis. This one. And the second one, pronator teres. This one. Pronator radialis is from the humerus, then will end on the radius, and from the ulna to the radius. Okay. When this muscle contract, make this one is radius move medially. This function is pronation of your forearm. Okay. Now let's continue to see the third one is flexor carpi radialis. Flexor carpi radialis from the medial side of humerus, and then will end on the radius, and then end on the wrist. The carpi means the wrist on the radial side. Okay, and then is palmaris longus. And this muscle finally will control all the fingers. And this side is flexor carpi ulnaris is on the ulnar side, will control your wrist. So this one is radial muscle, this one the ulnar muscle control your wrist, flex your wrist. And this muscle reflects your finger. Now let's see them again. Brachial humerus, this one. Brachialis, this one. Brachial radialis, this one. And this one pronator teres, flexor carpi radialis, palmaris longus, and flexor ulnaris is superficial layer. And now let's see, there is another layer. It also belongs to the superficial layer, but ended the first layer is the second layer. This one is flexor digitorum superficialis. This muscle you see the end will control all the fingers. Flex the finger. Okay, this one. And then is the deep layer. The deep layer, there are three muscles. The first one is flexor digitorum profundus. It's a deep layer. Profundus means deep. You see this muscle also control the finger. From the second finger to the little finger, control the three finger, make them flexion. And then is flexor pollicis longus. This muscle will control the thumb, make your thumb flexion. And last one, pronator cordatus. From ulnar to radius, make it pronation. Okay. You only know the common function, don't need all the name, don't need all the location, don't need master a region, insertion. Okay. And then the posterior group. On the posterior group, there are 10 muscles. 5 superficial layer muscle and 5 profound layer muscle. First, let's see the name. Superficial layer, they are extensor carpi radialis longus, extensor carpi radialis brevis. You see there are two muscles, longus and brevis. Okay. Third one, extensor digitorum, then extensor digital minimi. The last one, extensor carpi ulnaris. You see, all the muscle has the same word, extensor. Okay, so they have the same function, extension. They can extend your elbow, your wrist, and the finger. At the same time, can supination your forearm, supinate your forearm. Now let's see the profound layer. First one, supinator. Its function is supination. Then adductor pollicis longus, extensor pollicis brevis, extensor pollicis longus, extensor indicis. This one is your index finger. The pollicis is your thumb. Okay, so these three muscles have a relationship with the thumb. Okay, now let's see where are they. First, the superficial layer. And this is lateral side. Here is the thumb. The first one is extensor carpi radialis longus. Second one, extensor carpi radialis brevis. They have the same name, anterior part. And the last one, longus, because this muscle is long and this muscle is short. Long, short. Okay, but these have the same function. Extends your waist, and on the radial side. And so the one is extensor digitorum. You see, this muscle has 4 tendons will control second, third, fourth, and fifth finger. Make them extends. Control all the digitorum means the finger. Extends your finger. Okay. So the one extensor digiti minimi will control the little finger, make the little finger extension. Okay. And this one is extensor carpi ulnaris. Control your waist, make it extension, and on the ulnar side. And this one is the radial side, radial longus, radial brevis. Here is the ulnar, carpi ulnaris. Okay. All of the function extension, wrist, fingers. Now let's see the deep layer or profound layer. There also have 5 muscles. The first one, supinator. From ulnar to radius, make it supination. Second one, abductor pollicis longus. This one. Third one, extensor pollicis brevis. Here, to your thumb. pollicis, pollicis. These three muscles have a relationship with your thumb. And the first one make your thumb abduction. You see the second one? Here. On the lateral side of your thumb, make it abduction, move laterally. Second one, the third one is extension. Third one here. On the back of it, make it move backwards, extension. And this the fourth one is also on the back of it, and make it move backwards, extension. Or one is short one, another one is long one. The last one is tensor indices. Indices will function with the index finger, in the second finger, make it extension. Okay? Okay, that's now is all of the muscle of the forearm. You don't need to master all of the details. You only know the common function. The anterior group make your forearm flex your elbow, waist, and finger, and at the same time make it supination. Not supination. Make it pronation. And all the muscle on the back make your forearm is flex, extends your elbow, extends your waist, extends your finger, and supination. This one is enough. The last one is about the muscles of the hand. The muscle of the hand. The muscle of the hand, you don't need to master anyone. You only to listen. Don't need to master anyone. Okay. The muscle of the hand has three groups. You see through our right hand, and this one is the palm. Here, now I'll change the color. Change a wrong yellow one. Okay. Here, lateral group. Here, medial group. Here, intermediate group. Three group. Okay. The lateral group has another name is thinner. Thinner. The medial group has another name is hypothinner. Here is the medial. Here is the intermediate group. Okay. Now let's see them one by one. First, let's see the lateral group. Here is the finger. Here is the upper. Here is the lower. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4 muscles. First one, opponens pollicis. This one. Opponens. What's the opponens? Opponens can make your thumb move medially and to your palm, to the center, to your palm. This one is opponens movement. Okay. Second one, adductor pollicis brevis. This one, make your thumb move. Abduction means move laterally. Move laterally. When it contract, make it move upward and laterally. Okay. And third one is flexor pollicis brevis. This one, in front of your thumb. When this muscle contracts, make your thumb move forward. Flex. And the last one is adduction. This muscle from your palm to the thumb, and make your thumb move medially. Adduction. And so from the name, you will know the function of this muscle. Okay, it's the function. Okay, it's about the lateral group. And then is medial group. The medial group will around your little finger. Now, from the name, you will know the function of the abduction. Make it move laterally. Abduction. And flexion move forwards. Opponens will move medially to the little finger move medially and to the center of your palm. Okay. The last one is intermediate group. There are 4 lumbricals and 7 interosseous muscles. First, the 4 lumbricals. And this one, lumbricals. 1, 2, 3, 4. And this muscle can make the joint between your mater. Here is metacarpal. Here the phalanges. metatarsophalanges joints flexion. At the same time, you see this muscle, the distal part will go to the back of the finger, or to the back of the distal and the middle part of the finger. So, at the same time, can make your finger extension. This joint flexion and this joint extension. Okay, it's very special. And the last one is interosseous muscle. There are 3 palmar muscle. This is the palmar part, 1, 2, 3. And on the dorsal part, there are 1, 2, 3, 4 muscles. The palmar muscle can make all these fingers move medially to the middle finger, make them close. And the dorsal muscle, you see the arrow, the direction, make them move to the 2 sides, depart with the middle finger. Okay, so it's the function. Make your finger closer or depart. Okay, it's about the muscle of upper limb.